Hang on. There's one little thing for me left to finish, and then I'll be reading. Thanks, everybody. Well, no, I'm not going to go to Facebook today. So, today, I feel the love of God within me now. There is a light in the world you cannot perceive. And with your physical eyes, you will not see this light, for you are blinded by the world. Yet you have eyes to see the light in you. The light in you is there for you to look upon. The light in you was not placed in you to be kept hidden from your sight. This light is a reflection of the thought we practice now. To feel the love of God within you is to see the world anew, shining in innocence, alive with hope, blessed with perfect charity and love. Who could feel fear in such a world as this? World, as this world where you feel the love of God within you. This world that reflects God's love within you welcomes you, rejoices that you came, and sings your praises as it keeps you safe from every form of danger and pain. This world where you feel God's love within you offers you a warm and gentle home in which to stay a while. This world that reflects God's love blesses you throughout the day and watches through the night as silent guardian of your holy sleep. This world where you feel God's love within you sees salvation in you and protects the light in you, in which it sees its own light. This world that reflects God's love offers you its flowers and its snow in thankfulness for your benevolence. This is the world the love of God reveals. It is so different from the egoic world of fear that you see through darkened eyes of malice and fear, that one belies the other. Only one of these two worlds can be perceived at all. The other is wholly meaningless. A world in which forgiveness shines on things and peace offers its gentle light to everyone is inconceivable to those who see a world of hatred rising from attack, poised to avenge, to murder and destroy. Yet the world of hatred, equally unseen and inconceivable to those who feel God's love in them. The world of those who feel God's love in them reflects the quietness and peace that shines in them, the gentleness and innocence they see surrounding them, the joy with which they look out from the endless wells of joy within. What those who feel God's love in them have felt in them, they look upon, see God's love sure reflection everywhere in their world. What world do you see? The choice is given you. Learn and do not let your mind forget this law of seeing. You will look upon that which you feel within. If hatred finds a place within your heart, you will perceive a fearful world, held cruelly in depth's sharp-pointed bony fingers. If you feel the love of God within you, you will look out on a world of mercy and love. Today, we pass egoic illusions of lack, limitation, and separation as we seek to reach to what is truth's all-embracing tenderness. Its love, which knows us perfect as itself. Its sight, which is the gift its love bestows on us. We learn the way. It is as sure as love itself, to which it carries us. For its simplicity avoids the snares of the foolish convolutions of the world's apparent reasoning, but serve to hide the truth in us. Simply do this: be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is, all concepts you have learned about yourself. Empty your mind of everything your mind thinks is either true or false, good or bad. Every thought your mind judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring it with you. Do not bring with you one thought from the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God. It is not God who knows. Oh, I read that wrong. Sorry. Try again. Is it not God who knows the way to you? You need not know the way to God. Your part is simply to allow all obstacles that you have interposed between the Son of God and God the Father to be quietly removed forever. God will do his part in joyful and immediate response. Ask and receive, but do not make demands, nor point the road to God by which God should appear to you. The way to reach God is merely to let God be, for in that way is your reality proclaimed well. And so today, we do not choose the way in which we go to God, but we do choose to let God come. And with this choice, we rest. And in our quiet hearts and open minds, God's love will blaze its pathway of itself. What has not been denied is surely there. If what has not been denied is true, it can be surely reached. God knows his child and knows the way to that child, to you. God does not need his son to show God how to find his son's way. Through every opened door, God's love shines outward from its home within and lights up the world of innocence. The next part is a prayer. Father, we do not know the way to you, but we have called and you have answered us. We will not interfere, Salvation's ways are not our own, for salvation's way belongs to you, and it is unto you we look for salvation. Our hands are open to receive your gifts. We have no thoughts we think apart from you, and cherish no egoic beliefs of what we are or who created us. Yours is the way that we would find and follow, and we ask but that your will, which is our own will as well, be done in us and in the world, that the world becomes a part of heaven now. Amen. And now I'm going to read the notes from Tom's book, which is Understanding A Course in Miracles, Workbook Lessons. And I got the notes to lesson 189 here. And I think Tom's going to lead us in a little meditation. I feel the love of God within me now. This lesson states that when you feel the love of God within you, you will see the world anew, shining in innocence, alive with hope, and blessed with perfect charity and love. How is such a dramatic change possible? What we see as our outer world reflects what we feel in our inner world. We've been given a choice between two possible worlds. We either see a fearful world or a world of love and mercy. This choice is not controlled by our intellect or logical mind. Rather, it's made through our feelings. Your feelings can override your mind's logic and are the true litmus test that determines what your mind truly desires, believes, and values. Even though your feelings control this choice, it's important that your logical mind remembers that you, as decision maker, are the one freely making the choice between love and fear. This decision determines what type of world you choose to perceive. The law of seeing states you will look upon that which you feel within. If hatred finds a place in your heart, you will perceive a fearful world, held cruelly by death's sharp-pointed bony fingers. If you feel the love of God within you, you will look out on a world of mercy and love. The law of seeing confirms the idea that your world is a reflection of the creative power of your own mind. Your thoughts and feelings are causative and determine how you will view and interpret the circumstances and events that seem to swirl independently around you. You can either choose to look upon your world through the eyes of fear or the eyes of love and forgiveness. Just between you and me, I take a second, All right, next paragraph. Your thoughts are the precursors for your experience. Thoughts raised to the level of beliefs become your provisional reality. Thoughts always come first and are the cause for the experience that follows. The law of seeing states that your experiences merely align and conform to what you feel within. Your ego is wrong to assert that there is some outside force that can cause you to lose your inner peace. The peace of God is your divine birthright that is given to all God created and cannot be lost. It is only your own to move into fear that obscures and hides this truth and prevents you from seeing this world of mercy and love. If you wish to obtain this new vision, you need to feel the love of God within you. If you are to achieve this new worldview, you need a new plan with a new vision. You need to drop your allegiance to the ego's fear based thought system. This lesson asks you to be still, quiet your mind, and go within. Empty your mind of all egoic thoughts and drop your ego's plans and judgments. Do not bring one thought the past has taught or one belief you ever learned previously. You are to forget this world. Forget A Course in Miracles and come with holy, empty hands to God. Your ego does not need to develop a plan for you to find God. God has not left or forgotten you. Your ego's plans have obscured the vision of Christ from your sight. All egoic beliefs are obstacles that have been placed between God and yourself, his Son. When you silence the voice for fear and listen, you will hear the voice for God. Your ego believes this fear-based world is your home. The Holy Spirit knows your higher self is an alien in the ego's world of hate and fear. Stop participating in the ego's game of hide and seek and let God find you. And that's the end of the notes. The question of the day is, does the law of seeing support your ego's belief that your outside world is a fixed and independent force that is unaffected by your own mind's thoughts and beliefs? I'll put that in the chat. And Tom, whenever you're ready, I'd love to hear the meditation for today. Thanks, everybody.
So, you know, we we're kind of joking about it because every time we come to a lesson, we say, "Boy, this is an important lesson." You know, uh,
It's the
this,
truth. This is a
it
great
is
one.
an important lesson. As it's just a broken record, but this lesson uh, is one of the few that the Course in Miracles actually gives us very few what we're going to call laws. Uh, there's the law of God, which says to give is to receive. This lesson has the law of seeing, and the law of seeing is this idea that what I have in my heart, which is my true beliefs, is what I will see. So the law of seeing says that actually you will look upon that which you feel within. And whenever we say feel, the feel is really the litmus test or the way that you can tell what you really believe. If you're not at inner peace, if you throw something out and it upsets you and you're not seem like in balance, if your peace is not restored, that's probably the ego, and you need to perhaps quiet the mind and ask again for guidance. So, feelings help us to know whether or not we're really aligning with the truth or the Holy Spirit's advice, or if we're following the ego. If we're following the voice for God, your higher self, you'll see that your level of fear will reduce and your inner peace will be restored, or will start moving back towards recovering your inner peace. There's another law, the law of perception, which the Course gives us. And the law of perception says, condemn and you are made prisoner, forgive and you are set free. Those are basically the three laws that they speak of. There's some other things that they mention as laws, like the laws of chaos, but the laws of chaos are really uh, misperceptions, erroneous beliefs that we have. and they're will apply if we believe them. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to try and do what this lesson says, which is to come with empty hands and drop our egoic beliefs that we have to do something special or that we've got a better plan for our salvation, that uh, we maybe have to earn our way back, and just start looking at some of those beliefs. And it says discard them, drop all your beliefs. So that's what we're going to try and do today. So why don't you get in a comfortable position and just become aware of your essence, your light, uh, your awareness. Because as individuated consciousness, it's your decision maker that places a focus on what you choose to place your attention on. So place your attention on that energy, that light, that is your true uh, existence, your true essence, that spirit. And just breathe in the love of God and become aware of that light within you. And as we become aware of that, just realize that your essence, your spirit, your consciousness is what you really are, that you're a focus of energy, individuated potential that is part of that one self. So just become aware of that energy that surrounds and is part of you. And as we do this, what we want to do is we want to start explore thoughts, our beliefs about ourselves, because the law of seeing says that what we believe will impact how we see our world. And this lesson asks us to drop those beliefs. So let's explore some of the beliefs that maybe we've been indoctrinated, and let's choose to drop those beliefs. Make a conscious decision to come before God, the world, the truth, and start dropping these egoic beliefs. So realize, first of all, that you are not the costume you call the body. Let's breathe in the truth that you are energy and release the belief that you could be some form, that this essence of what you are could be somehow confined or trapped in some limited space that we perceive as this costume we call the body. So breathe in the peace of God, that energy, and release that egoic thought that you are some form, some body. The idea that you could be a sinner, that you could have done something wrong, that somehow you could have lost your divine inheritance, lost paradise. That's one of these beliefs that we've been indoctrinated into. And today we want to release that, drop that belief. So breathe in the understanding, the truth that you are God's treasure, and release that thought, that belief that you were a sinner, that somehow you had done something wrong, and because of that, you had lost your divine birthright, your paradise. You've been expelled. I breathe in the truth that I am as God created me. I release all thoughts that I somehow could have lost my divine inheritance. Breathe in the love of God. I accept that as my truth. I release all egoic thoughts that I had been done something wrong. I breathe in the love of God. I release all thoughts of guilt, shame. I accept God's love, the truth of what I am, and I release all blame, shame, guilt. I accept the love of God. I release all beliefs in sin. I accept the love of God and I release my judgment that my world was a sinful place. The idea that we could laugh is something also that cannot be true. How can we, a creation of a God of unlimited love, lack anything? I accept the idea that I remain as God created me, perfect, whole, and complete. I release all thoughts that I could lack, that I could be somehow not perfect, not whole and complete. I accept this wholeness. I release all ideas of lack, limitation, and separation. I am part of the oneness of God. That is my truth. I release all beliefs that I could be other than as God created, perfect, whole, and complete. This lesson asks us that we release all things, all thought. We release this idea now that God could be something other than unconditional love. I accept God's unconditional love and I release all beliefs that God could judge me, could have found his beloved creation wanting, that God could be someone to fear. Those are errors, egoic beliefs that need to be released. I breathe in the unconditional love of God and I release all thoughts that God would judge me. I accept the idea that I am God's beloved treasure and I feel that unconditional acceptance of God's love. I come with empty hands. I empty my mind of all egoic beliefs. And now I can openly accept the love of God that surrounds me, permeates me, that is me. I accept the love of God. I release all blocks all obstacles that I have placed to try and prevent me from realizing this truth. I accept God's love, for I am God. God's love animates, acts, charges, and is my essence. I accept the love of God. I release all thoughts of separation. I am God's treasure, God my source. I unaffect, God cause. I affect. Two sides of one inseparable coin. God has found me. No need to search, no need to seek, only to open my heart, drop all my belief, and accept the love of God. I am God's treasure. I am as God created, perfect, whole, and complete. And as I accept the love of God, I feel that love of God in me. I feel total accept, total appreciation, being God's beloved child. I accept the love of God, for that is what I am. God has found me. My eyes are open, and the law of seeing says that if love is in my heart, I will look out and see this world as a place, mercy and love, a place where God's sleeping child can gently reawaken, removing all obstacles, all blocks that they've placed in front of God's love, and accept that truth for themselves. I breathe in the love. I extend the love, for I feel only love in my heart, knowing that I, God's treasure, total acceptance, appreciation, connectiveness, for God has found me and God has placed within me that remember my God, the Holy Spirit, my higher self, to make sure that I return home. God's plan is guaranteed. We will all and all must reawaken to that truth. Salvation is merely the putting aside of our egoic plan, our egoic judgments, that we could be something other than perfect, whole, and complete, that we could somehow transform a God of unconditional love into a God of fear. Today I release all my egoic beliefs. I come with empty hands and just accept the love of God. I accept the love of God. I extend that love. Thus, our minds are restored from our wandering thoughts, and we acknowledge that the peace of God still shines in us and from us to all living things that share our life. We will forgive all that we perceive. We will absolve all the world from what we thought the world did to us. For it is we who will make the world as we would have that world to be. Today, we drop our beliefs that somehow we were sinners, that somehow we needed to earn God's love, that we had to do penance. We release that, and we release all our brothers and sisters from our belief that they had to do something to make us happy. They had to do something so that we could be at peace. Today, we realize that in this dimension of time and space, we remain as God created, that nothing can rob us of our own inner peace unless we choose to allow. And we today choose to follow that voice that God has placed within us, the voice that leads us to the truth that we are God's beloved child. Now we choose that the world be innocent, devoid of sin, and open to salvation. We lay our saving blessing upon the world as we say, the peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless all things with the light that is in. The world is a reflection of me. Today I accept the peace of God, and I extend that to my world. Take a moment or two to reconnect with your game token, your neutral communication device that you'll use today to demonstrate what love would have you do to help reduce fear wherever you see it, whether it be in yourself or others or your world. Today, the peace of God is shining in me now. And when you reconnect with your game, just take a deep breath. Send energy bolt down through this game token we call the body and reconnect to this time space continuum, the room, the chair, your world. And today, use the vision of Christ to see your world. Create a great day for yourself and your world. Namaste. The God in me recognize the God in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Namaste to you as well. The God in me sees the God in you. Thank you for another great little meditation. And I know we do joke about it, but it really does feel like there's an area in the middle here where we get the meat of this course. and it comes delivered after we've spent 100 odd, 120, 130 odd days worth of practicing, and they open us up. And so this 60-day kind of chunk that we've been going through from the end of spring, and it continues. It's not like we're going to stop saying, "Hey, this is the best lesson." They all build on. So as we get through these, and as it's revealed to us, we get a sense of peace. And we get a sense that, oh, this is how it works in my life. This is how it shows up in my life, and I need to relax and receive the gifts of God. So thank you all really very much for coming. Today's lesson is one of my favorites. There's an audio recording that a couple of the lines of this lesson has in it, and it always comes back to me when I read a lesson and I hear those specific lines, because it's kind of the real key piece and of the course from my perspective. And there were 3 or 4 lines within this lesson 189 that had that. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with holy, empty hands unto your God. That's one of those lines, and it's in the 7th paragraph. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Michael, how are you doing? Janine, how's it going?
Good
Adriana,
morning. I'm doing fantastic.
Janine, how did this hit you? Did you like it?
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like you were saying, the lessons lead right into each other. And it's interesting that yesterday I was thinking that I want to let everything go. And it had to be a result of the previous lesson, where it's like, just was preparing me for this morning. I hadn't read today's lesson, but I had decided to let certain things go, that I was no longer going to entertain certain thoughts or ideas that my ego came up with. And wow, here we go. This morning, um, perfect timing. I'm so ready for this one. And it's interesting to me how A Course in Miracles is telling you to forget A Course in Miracles and to just
Yeah. Yep.
really allow God um, in, to accept God, knowing that we are God. As New Thought says, a microcosm of the macrocosm. I always like that one. Um,
Ooh, I like that one too. That's good, Janine.
yeah, I love that one. So I'm ready. I'm ready to. Whew, and I feel so light. I feel a lightness of being. I feel God's love. Knowing this is really who I am. It's not those erroneous thoughts. Another line that struck me was, I think it's like death's bony fingers or something like that. And to me, death's bony fingers equals fear. And I'm no longer willing to live in fear. Um, I've been loved and supported my entire life. You see people exit. We all have to transition, but I'm still here. I'm still here being loved and supported 100% in my life. There are little bumps along the way, sure, but I no longer need to control every single step and figure out every single step and blame others and um, judge others. I didn't create them, they're God creation, and there's no judgment. So thank you. And I just want to thank you guys for always being here. I mean, it's really about discipline, and you guys have really done that. And it's this course, and you guys being here has called me to be more disciplined in my life and just make a decision. It's a decision. Am I going to do this or not?
Yes,
Am I gonna,
ma'am. Yep.
yeah, am I gonna live a better life or not? A full life, a beautiful life. So we're making that choice. So yeah, thanks to all of you. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Janine. there's a crew here in this house, and we're going to get on the road. And I think, Papa, if you're there, we might be visiting you on the way out of town. So you might want to get that waffle iron heated up for us. I'm going to wrap up the streams. And if anybody has anything they'd love to contribute, I'd love to hear from you. Anything down there, Jordan, it's great to see you. Christine, it's great to see you. Go ahead, Papa.
Oh, yes. This about 4 or 5 days ago, I made a comment about having heard a tape a long time ago that opened up so much of this course to me, and said enough to convince me at that time that this is worth looking at, and it might just be a terrific way to light my path. And the beginning of that tape, which I have no idea, and I say tape, it was a cassette tape. I found it in a Unity bookstore, and it had the beginning of it was from that lesson of several days ago. The most powerful statement, which convinced me at that time that this is worth looking into, is this amazing paragraph 7 of this lesson, lesson 189. Because it says,
Yes.
give it all up, throw your best stuff out and just forget everything, including, as you said, Janine, including this course. It's possible that we could read this course all the way through the first time and just barely get an inkling of what it really has to offer us. And unfortunately, this world does a really good job of trying to reinforce all this ego crap and the way of life and what's important in life, and it's in books, it's in TV and TV and TV. It's everywhere. It diminishes the light every chance it gets. And so here is the bravest statement that this book can make. Simply do this. Be still. Lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world, all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false or good or bad, of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought, the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. There's no exceptions to this. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God. What could possibly be a more powerful endorsement of this course? It says, no matter what you think you even read in the course, put it all aside. Go directly to your God. That is the one unalterable way to improve your life, our life, my life, the life of the people that I love. Because one of the things that Tom talks about often is the different laws that he's aware of, these spiritual laws. The law of seeing, that what we believe is what we see, as opposed to what the whole world thinks is the opposite. What we see is what we believe. It's amazing how everything changes and it becomes a beautiful world the more we're able to always remember that we always have direct access to our God, no matter what's going on, no matter what appears to be going on, no matter what we think should be going on. We can always find the truth if we come with empty hands, wholly empty hands, empty minds unto our God. As just about everybody has said already, it's one of the most powerful lessons simply because it has summed up so many of the things that it has already said. And even with that, the ultimate ability to say, whatever we have said to you, put that aside too. Just go straight to your God. The whole lesson could be summed up in that. But what we go and who we are and what we do, the book, fortunately for us, gives us some side rails. We can go on this ramp, but sometimes we get close to the edge and we need to be remembered. We need to be reminded, that is. Yeah, you're a little bit close to the edge there. Go back to your God. Find out what your next step needs to be. I think that this paragraph that I just read had more to do with my coming to study A Course in Miracles in terms of convincing me that there's something in this book that as a whole doesn't appear anywhere else.
Here, here. Yep.
This is it. Here. Right here in this lesson. So there's not much else I can say. And that's the only thing that I hope we can all remember forever and ever. So that's my thought for today. It doesn't get much better than that.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I totally agree. That's what we need. And sometimes we just need to say that it's God, and then we cease to speak. And so that is really the truth. Let's go straight to God today and let the answers flow. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If there's anything else anybody wants to say, you're welcome to. That sounds like we're close to wrapping up. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Namaste.
Thank you, Lee, for your reading.
Have a great day. Namaste.
Bye, Tom. You're welcome, Dad. See you in a little bit.